fucking know. Dude, just everybody. Like, yesterday, one of my coworkers sounded like fucking Batman, dude. It was bad. I called him Batman Jovi all day. It didn't catch on, and it felt like bullying. I thought it would be funny.
Batman Jovi? What does that even mean? Is his name Jovi?
Yeah, I mean, his name's Jovi, and he sounds like this.
Wait, so if I got sick, you'd walk up to me and be like, "What's up, Batman George?" Like, what?
Yeah, like an alternate universe version of you, where you might be Batman.
I'd go by Batman George.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like started by like being like, oh yeah, hey, like badass cop Jovi, and then it didn't like catch on.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It didn't, well. And then I called him Batman, and then I referenced it like the next day when his voice was it just felt mean. I thought it was funny. And looking back to 3 days ago, that was mean.
I don't think it was mean. I wasn't there. I'm not Batman Jovi, but I find it incredibly hilarious.
I mean, it's just this guy who's sick and he's trying to talk.
And he came into work
probably
and he
hurts. And he's wearing a mask because he needs to.
He came into work to like, get money and like spend time with you guys. Yeah. Just like, you're like, oh, what's up, Batman?
Yeah, like, what the fuck's up, Batman? That's not... Whatever. Welcome back to the Obligatory Podcast.
Welcome back to the Obligatory Podcast.
What is up?
I am...
Do you think that will catch on? I do that every time.
You didn't do that for the MILF Manor episode.
I do it a few times.
You've done it a few times.
Well, I mean, we had Disco Mommy covering the MILF Manor episode.
That's true. We did have her intro
pretty handedly, by the way.
Can we talk about that?
Can we talk about that? That was awesome, guys. I submitted that cameo like 30 minutes before we filmed our like welcome back episode. And then... By the way, Cameo's so fucked up.
It is. It is so weird.
You have like, you do the first text box and you're like, okay, so I have a 250 character limit. That's normal. It's like Twitter. And then you go to the next text box and you're like, why are there already characters out of this? And they ask you like 3 to 4 questions. And they're like, what is this for? Who's this? Who's requesting? What is the event? Whatever. Yep. You have to fit all of it in 250 characters, or you can buy 250 more characters for $8 additional on the request.
What was their idea behind that?
Their idea, a little bit of money, a little bit of moolah, some cash, perhaps.
No. I get that, but it's like, why is that where you decide to get more money from? Like wanting to text more things.
Yeah, I rented Disco Mommy out.
How much was she?
Like $30.
Okay, that's what I thought.
$30. It was like good price. Unless, of course, I wanted 500 words in the application.
Then it would have been $38.
That would have been $38, and that is a ripoff.
No, that's
where I draw a line in the sand.
It's
not okay.
That's like a Big Mac, maybe. I'm trying to think of like
$38.
No, $8. Like an extra $8 on top of that.
I don't know.
It's like giving Disco Mommy $30 and then a Big Mac on top of that.
I haven't gotten McDonald's in a long time. No. That is a lie. I got McDonald's last night.
Okay.
Right now they're doing a Croc's Happy Meal.
What?
They're doing a Croc's Happy Meal. You
like
get a little
shoes?
Yeah, you get like a little Croc keychain in it.
Wait, really?
Yeah. My chef, really, really, really big McDonald's guy. Like, it might be a little concerning how big of a McDonald's guy he is.
Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was like talking to us after shift, and he was like, "Oh, did you guys see like the new Happy Meal toy?" And I'm like, "Oh no, what is it?" He's like, "It's a Croc." I'm like, "A whole Croc?" And he's like, "No, well, that'd be ridiculous.
That'd be stupid."
Yeah, that would be stupid. It's a keychain. Instead, it's a Croc keychain.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And so I was like, oh, okay, well then, I mean, I'll have to get one if you get one. And he was like, okay, great, we're getting them. So like after work at like 12:30, I'm in a McDonald's drive-thru. And I drive in, and I'm like, man, why are all the screens off right now? But it's a McDonald's. It's like 12:30. Why would it be closed? It was fucking closed. I drive 10 minutes to the next McDonald's.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which is extremely inconvenient.
Did you go to the one closest to our house? Because that one does close at midnight.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
That's
which is
dumb.
fucking dumb.
McDonald's. McDonald's famously open 24/7.
But
like, I understand if you can't give me ice cream after midnight. Look, that's fair.
Just
that's
ice
fair.
cream?
I mean, come on, it breaks.
It does not break.
It breaks.
It does not break. They just don't want to clean it.
Something in them breaks that says they can't serve ice cream anymore. It breaks.
The machine doesn't break. They break.
Yeah. That's it. And so, like, I drive to the next McDonald's. I get my Croc. My Croc keychain. I get the worst Croc design, by the way. It's red and it has Happy Meals on it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's ugly.
How big is
and
this
And
keychain?
it's tiny. It's like, I don't know, like 3 inches.
Okay, that's huge. That is massive.
It's not massive. I mean, it's definitely adequate.
It's definitely good enough.
It's certainly, I mean, it's not nothing. Not nothing.
That's true.
I send a picture to my chef and I'm like, Croc, I got my Croc.
Croc, I got my Croc.
he says, Croc, crocodile emoji, Croc brothers.
Crocodile emoji, Croc.
But other than that, I don't really go to McDonald's. So all of that to say,
No.
I don't know how much a Big Mac costs.
Well, I was trying to think of like a fast food item that would cost roughly $8, but fast food prices recently have been fucking absurd.
Surging.
It is insane. I get a bowl at Chipotle and a drink, and it's like, that's $14. You fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but honestly, Chipotle bowl is 2 meals.
I house that shit down in one meal, one sitting.
I could make it 2 meals if I wasn't a fat ass. You know, like, in my mind, like, if I wasn't craving to be, like, full, I could easily make that 2 meals.
No, well, first off, Forrest, when you first said Croc meal, I heard Grok meal.
Ooh.
Like Twitter Grok.
Yeah.
I still
like the AI assistant.
I do not know what it is. Like, what does it do? Like, what is it?
I don't
like,
know. Well, you know how like Instagram has like
Meta?
that. Yeah. They have like AI assistants that you can just fucking like
Mr. Beast.
You can talk to them if you get lonely. They can give you relationship advice and they can help you pick out gifts for people and I don't know, do all the things that your human friends would do if you had them.
Yeah, it's a fake friend to have. I know one of them. I was watching a Danny Gonzalez video. Shout out to our friend Danny Gonzalez,
friend of the show.
He like did a video and like one of the AI assistants was like Mr. Beast, and it was like his name was Funny Man Zach or something.
They're not real life people. They look a lot like real life people. Some people might say that it, I don't know, wouldn't be chill in a court of law. But, like, it's not Mr. Beast.
Well, no, because I think Instagram, like, paid them to do this.
Oh, really?
Like, they were, like, reached out and were like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, they have Elon Musk on there.
And Jimmy said yes. Well, of course Jimmy said yes.
Come on, it's fucking Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast will do anything for an extra
If Mr. Beast
penny.
had the chance to suck off any billionaire...
Mr. Beast
he would.
Is like the Mr. Krabs of YouTube. But we won't get into that right now.
We won't get into that. We can't get into that.
Because I think if we get into that, that's the entire episode. We'll say that for another episode. We have other stuff to talk about.
It's like the Mr. Krabs of YouTube.
He is.
Who's his Pearl?
Who's his Pearl? Ryan Trahan.
We can't get into this.
Well, we can get into this.
Okay, yeah.
I like
Ryan Trahan is the Pearl?
I think Ryan Trahan is the Pearl.
But all Pearl does is complain and not be happy, unlike Ryan Trahan, who might be the happiest content creator known to man.
No, Mark Rober is like Plankton. Because he be making like all those inventions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's like a less evil Plankton. Oh my god. Speaking of tech YouTubers.
Okay.
Have you seen Marques Brownlee play Ultimate Frisbee?
No.
Dude, he's one of the best Ultimate Frisbee players in the world. He's in the pro leagues.
Really?
He recently went to Australia to go to the World Cup, and then he's a world champion.
Well, he's a very physically, active guy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's like if you told me that, like, I don't know, fucking Justine was a professional badminton player.
I mean,
it's like, what?
He's just living such a double life. Like,
Marcus?
Yeah.
Mark Ass Brownlee?
Yeah, Mark Ass Brownlee.
Fortnite and Mark Ass Brownlee. Sorry, I
okay, well, apart from that, Ultimate Frisbee and Marques Brownlee. All right, like, he's, like, testing out his Apple Watch, and the way he's testing it is, like, playing on the official New York team. Or some shit like that. Like, it's crazy.
He's one
of the best in the world. My TikTok... I'm such a loser, man.
No. This is very interesting.
My TikTok showed me week 10 highlights of Marques Brownlee playing Ultimate Frisbee, and as a guy who knows nothing about the sport, that guy was on fire. He looked like the best player on the field. He made a across the field hammer throw. Mm-hmm. It scored a touchdown or something.
What's a hammer throw? Is that like...
It's when they throw it. It's vertical when it leaves, but then it turns horizontal in the air. Typically, it will land upside down. Mm-hmm. It's super cool. Mm-hmm. You know how Frisbees are super cool.
Well, before I came back up here for this semester, I had a small little stint with some friends where I would just play Ultimate Frisbee every day for a week.
Ultimate Frisbee is a very fun game.
It reminded me of our little spike ball era where like we just got like super into it.
And we weren't even good.
No, we weren't even good. And I was not good at Ultimate Frisbee. Yeah. Like I was by far like the worst person there just because I like...
Yeah. Well, do you remember in high school we did Ultimate Frisbee?
When?
Like freshman or sophomore year.
No, I don't
freshman
remember.
Year. Sophomore year. I accidentally gave one of my good friends at the time a black eye. Because, well, okay, it's not my fault.
Wait, in Ultimate Frisbee?
In Ultimate Frisbee.
Did you hit the Frisbee in their face?
She stepped in my line of throw. Like right as I was releasing, she like stepped and she was like at most a meter away from my Frisbee, and it just right in the eye. And we shared a locker at the time, like good friends. And like every day we saw each other every day, so like we'd come in every day, and she'd be like, "Look at my black eye," and I'd be like,
That's just a reminder that like, I did that.
Look, I mean, the game's dangerous.
The game is dangerous.
It's not my fault. Hey, the Frisbee does what the Frisbee does.
I don't remember Ultimate Frisbee from high school. I remember like other stupid shit that they made us do.
We were on pickleball before it was cool.
We were on pickleball before I was cool.
Sucked at that too.
And no, that was a game that I was excellent
I was really good at Ultimate Frisbee. I'll say it.
Okay, you could have the Ultimate Frisbee.
I played a lot of Frisbee growing up.
I was really good at pickleball, and it's upsetting that to see it like grow in popularity and be like, but
you're not there.
I know I could be D1. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you just went to a better pickleball school.
Yeah, because our school just wasn't all about that.
Yeah.
I think that was like a 2-week long unit in PE.
Yeah, no, it was, and then I think it was a lot. It was a lot longer. It might have been a whole quarter of my PE class was like dedicated to pickleball. I think that the PE teachers had nothing better to do.
No,
and maybe they got to like way too much freedom in their lesson plans. Now that I think about it,
I know we did golf for a unit. That one was...
I never did golf.
You didn't do golf?
No, what?
Do you remember who... I mean, I guess you can't say it on the pod.
I do, but I also remember that when I was in the Ultimate Frisbee one, it was my last period of the day, and she would hold us after the bell.
My freshman year teacher did that.
We would be playing until after the bell went off, which is problematic because that's when you need to get to your bus, but we had to sprint back to the locker rooms, change, and then get on the bus hot and sweaty and hot. It was awful.
It was
crazy. It wasn't allowed.
No.
I read the rules. I was one of those kids at the time. It wasn't allowed
to hold them after class.
Yeah, after the bell. The bell went off. We needed to be changed by the time the bell was off.
I still like I understand why PE was like a class.
Why is it so freeform though?
It's very freeform, and it's also like you're asking kids at like 8 a.m. to run the mile. And then they have to just be sweaty and gross.
No, PE
like,
is a good thing.
Day. Like I think PE is a good thing, but like by God, was
the
it
sweaty and gross part is really rough. Because you also can't make them shower. Could you imagine showering with your classmates like they do in the movies?
Which I don't believe actually happens.
I don't believe that ever happened.
Maybe in college, but like
maybe, just maybe,
not in high school.
Like. No, just
no.
I'm not gonna shower with these people that I kind of maybe know. Like
the kids that I was in class with were assholes, and they definitely would have been like the kids to like be like peekaboo and like peek into my thing, and it's like
no, they didn't even have curtains in our school showers.
No,
like so.
I remember one time. I was going in. This was 8th grade. Mm-hmm. I was going into like the bathroom to like. Use it, obviously.
As you do.
And there was this one like kid who everyone like I absolutely hated him. Everyone hated him. He was like walking by and he was like, "Hey George, check this out." And he like pulled down his pants and flashed me.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, "Oh, gross!" And he walked away. Then I heard a flush coming from like the bathroom, and someone walked right out, and I got really pissed because he didn't wash his hands. And I went, "Insert name here." Go back and wash your hands. I was more upset that he didn't wash his hands than the kid who just flashed me.
Did he moon you or did he flash you?
He flashed me.
There was a lot of mooning going on in like the 8th grade locker rooms that I remember. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Maybe I was paying too much attention. But no, there was definitely a lot of mooning going on in the 8th grade like locker rooms. Did you have a thing where, like, your locker rooms during class were a place to hang out? Like, because nobody would be in there and the teachers wouldn't be in there, so you could get away with being in there for a little bit and, like, fucking around.
I knew that, like, some people did that. That just wasn't... That wasn't, like, the group of people that I wanted to hang out with, if that makes sense.
You'll be happy to know I was one of them. When I was...
I mean, I was just hanging out in the theater room.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in freshman year, like... and I was in PE class, and I didn't want to do PE, I would, like, hang out in the locker room with some guys. And one day, we were, like... 14-year-old boys, so we were like, yo, let's see who can jump and touch the ceiling the best. And so, like, we're jumping, we're touching the ceiling, of course, not each other, that is gay.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And we're, like, grazing it, and I'm like, I bet I could put my whole fucking palm on there. You think I could do that? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, I bet you couldn't, you're short. And I jump up.
Fucking got him!
And I put and it's one of those tiles. It's one of those, like...
Yeah.
You know, the school tiles. And so, like, I reach my whole palm up on it, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to make it. So I go as far up as I can. Tile pops out. I freak out. I twist my hand a little so it tilts. It falls down, snaps in half.
I remember walking into the locker room and seeing that one missing. I can't believe that was you.
Snaps in half. I pick up the piece. It makes the loudest bang I've ever heard. I look around. Nobody but me and this guy are in there. Thank God. We're like, oh, fuck, what do? We each pick up one half, put it nicely against the wall, and walk out like nothing happened and continue to play whatever the fuck we were playing.
One thing that people, like, really... Like, when I told them I did this sport in high school, they go, oh, you went to a white high school.
Yeah.
Like a white high school.
Pretty much.
That was archery.
Yeah, that you're rich if you do archery in high school.
If your school did archery, and it's like...
I never got to do archery in high school, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Yeah, why not?
My teacher was fucking lame and yours was cool.
No. My teacher was the worst.
Well, at least you got to do archery. Do you know how happy I would have been to do archery? I'm good at archery. That would have been impressive.
You already like archery.
It would have been impressive.
I was really bad at it.
Any chance I get to show the people that I might be better than them, I'm taking.
The teacher that I had, the gym teacher that I had, was like super stickler. Kept us after like the bell, because I also had like gym class at the very end of the day, and she would like I joke around and she'd be like, George, you need to fucking shut the fuck up now.
Okay, we for sure had the same teacher.
You think so?
For sure. Was she blonde?
No.
Never mind.
Mine had super curly, like ginger hair, and was super short.
I've never seen that lady in my life.
I'll get to where she ended up, because she stopped being a gym teacher at our school.
Okay.
In archery, one day I remember like getting up to like bat, and this was like, I just rewatched The Office.
Sure.
Before this happened.
Sure.
Just as a preemptive warning. So I'm like, I'm up to bat, but I'm like tired. I'm not really fully in it, so like my legs are pretty close together.
It's probably 8 a.m.
Well, it was like 3 p.m., but it was like long day.
You've already gone through your whole day, which is just as bad as it being 8 a.m.
And I'm just like, all right, let's fucking get this over with. And I'm doing the thing, and the teacher's like, George, make sure you spread your legs a little bit for me.
There's no way.
Yes, she said that. She said, "Can you spread your legs a little for me?" And I went. I don't know why I went. That's what she said.
Well, that's hilarious.
It got like the person next to me was losing it.
Yeah.
Because what a banger. And I start to go forward, and I just hear I'm pulling back, and I hear how dare you? And I'm like, shit. And she starts like yelling at me in front of the class. And she like sends me back in the line. I don't even get to shoot the arrow. How dare she? And I tell all my friends, and they
shot the arrow with your mom last night.
Fuck you. They all start losing it. It's like spreading around the school or whatever. I also had this thing, like, we talked about this in the first episode, where I would wear costumes to school.
Yeah,
we talked about it too much. I won't get into it now. But one day I wore, like, a banana costume to school. It was fucking awesome. It was legendary.
Sure. Keep that in your mind.
And the teacher was like, I gotta call home. And So she was like thinking that I was going to class, like going to school, like hiding my costume from my parents, when in actuality I was walking out the door dressed as a banana.
What a weird thing to hide from your parents. If that's what you're hiding from your parents in high school, that's pretty good.
That is, I am a pretty
like, you're not like
kid.
showing up to school drunk or something. You're like, oh well, I don't want my parents to know that I'm wearing a banana costume.
What a fucking nerd.
Like, okay.
No, but I was just like, I'm like, see ya, Mom, and she's like, no, bye, George.
Yeah.
And it's like,
just let your kid be weird. Let them get behaviorally corrected in school, and let that be the end of it.
But this teacher was like, I gotta call home. And so she called home and she's like, did you know, Miss Sullivan, that your son is coming to school dressed as cows and bananas? And she goes, yeah. Her plan has been foiled.
Yeah.
But she was like, oh, I remember this archery thing, that's what she said joke that he said to me. And she tells my mom that he was like, I said this to him and he said that's what she said. And my mom put her phone, she said, give me a moment, put her phone on mute, laughed so fucking hard, was at work, and she called her coworkers over and was like, this is what my son did. Told them, they all loved it. Got back on the phone.
She was on hold the whole time?
Yeah, she was on hold.
Oh, that's awesome.
Called her and went, I will talk to him about this. And she was like, good. And then my mom called my dad. My dad lost it. He thought it was hilarious. He called his coworkers over. He was like, listen to what my son did. They all laughed. I got home. My dad was like, you fucked up, son. You fucked up. And this was before Halloween. So they were like, you can't go out for Halloween this year, George. But they took that back like a day later and were like, nah, to be real, we thought it was funny.
You can do anything you want in life. Anything you want in life, as long as it's funny enough.
As long as it's funny enough.
Like, hey, that applies to anything, absolutely anything. But some things it's just really hard to make funny.
I think that's true.
Like, theoretically, I think you could get away with terrorism, but I don't know how you'd make that shit funny.
No, I mean, you and I have been like theorizing.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't.
Sorry. Have you? This is kind of a non sequitur. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the Talk Tuah podcast?
I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it.
It started like there was a little intro sequence with Haley Welch,
of course,
the Hawk Tuah girl.
Yeah.
And she had a Matt Rife pillow with her.
Whoa.
It was a pillow
is she
with
Matt Rife. She's Southern.
She is super into Matt Rife. Like, she is, like, genuinely in love with that guy.
She voting red?
I think she is.
Interesting. That makes sense for her.
I mean, she's super Southern and a Christian, so.
Yeah.
And she had, like, it just made me think of that because, like, Matt Rife isn't funny. He, like, does, like, controversial.
And he doesn't get away with it.
No. I mean, to
the people who think he's funny, he gets away with it.
Yeah, but
which is arguably more to our point. Like, to the people who think he's funny, he gets away with it. To the vast majority of humans on this earth.
Yeah, it's like.
People are like, yo, what's up, Matt Rife? You're not funny, and you're saying this insane shit that you can't get away with saying. Mm-hmm. And he's just making another special, I guess.
I don't get it, man.
But like,
he just, to his credit, he does good crowd work, but that's not good stand-up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's the modern stand-up, though. You can't get away from crowd work these days.
No, we've already talked about this.
It's all crowd work now. It's just farming your TikTok clips and trying to get there. There's like the purity of stand-up, George.
It's
still
spoiled.
alive. It's still alive. If you can definitely go to stand-up clubs and find good stand-up, but I just feel like it's harder.
I want to go to a stand-up club around here, but I haven't found any.
Go with you?
You want to go with me?
Yeah,
that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I tried watching the Talk Tuah podcast because, I've been doing a lot of research into other podcasts, and I heard that...
As you need to do.
Talk Tuah was a mind-blowing, life-changing podcast to listen to.
Maybe I'll listen on my drive up tomorrow.
On your drive up tomorrow, listen to the first and second episode of Talk Tuah.
Well, I'll listen to one.
You listen to the first and second episode of Talk Tuah.
Okay, yeah.
And, I'm sure you'll call me afterwards.
Isn't she getting crazy? Isn't she under... Logan Paul's podcast agency?
Maybe.
She is. It's under the Impulsive agency.
I know that. Do you think we can be on the Impulsive? No.
Also, I don't want to be. But that's like she's pulling like crazy guests because she's able to like.
Yeah.
It's so unfair. It's so unfair. All she did was say Hawk Tuah spit on that shit thing.
She's an industry plant. Like, can we just be real?
Even if she didn't start as one, she is now. Like straight up, she is now.
I think she started off as an industry plant because like I haven't seen anyone think that Talk Tuah.
I've seen people. You're not talking to people in their like 20s and 30s, like mid 20s and 30s. Trust me.
You're probably right.
Trust me. There was a whole week at work. Every meme you don't think is funny has a week at work.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of bringing Demure to the workplace for one day. I was like, you know what? It will be kind of funny. I put up there's a classic kitchen thing that is like super old school way of thinking. It's having a sign up that says a sense of urgency to remind all your cooks to have a sense of urgency when they cook. Yeah, I kind of fuck with that. Cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
I put up a sign that said a sense of demurgency. Because I was like, this is so stupid. This is funny. This is funny.
Yeah.
And for the next week and a half at work, it was people just being like, oh, the way you cut chives, very demure. The way you cook that lamb, very tasteful, very delicious, very demure. It got to the point that we were all at Korean barbecue one night, and we were like, I feel like we have to stop making demure jokes.
Sometimes, Forrest, the way you describe how your kitchen like talks to each other, it feels like a middle school class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it feels like in middle school people go like, "Do you know the way? Do you know the way?" Like the entire time.
The thing is, it's like you're in a really. Kitchens bring around a very like manic energy because it's just very like it's very stressful and fast paced all the time, and like you're probably like pissed off or something, but you're like trying to hide it. So you're just spewing shit. It's just coming out of you. It's like you're just saying anything all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
No,
you know?
and I mean that's pretty similar to middle school and high school where it's just like you're with all these people for such a long time that it's just like you're just seeing what you can say and get away with.
And you see these people all the time. You're bonded to them so closely, you know, you just say whatever you want, and it's not like they're gonna be like, I don't like you anymore.
They can't do that.
They can't say that shit. If you don't like me anymore, you're still working like 10 to 12 hours a day with me.
Would you say, Forrest, that you're the Joker of your kitchen?
I'm not the prankster of the kitchen.
Okay.
Which is different.
Okay. No, I know what you mean.
Which is different.
It's different.
I think I'm definitely one of the jokester. You know what I am, though? I'm the kitchen Gen Z.
You are the youngest person.
I had to explain to one of our like front of house managers who Sabrina Carpenter was. I've explained Brat Summer, any of the hits. I explain all of it.
That's good.
So I'm that. I mean, I definitely tell a lot of jokes.
I was at a party a couple weeks ago. It was a 2020 themed party.
That's kind of awesome.
It was really awesome. I did get COVID from that party.
That's kind of more awesome.
It's super awesome. And I dressed up as an Among Us imposter for the party.
Okay. I was wondering, I saw so much of you dressed as Among Us on your page, and I was like, George, you've really fallen.
No. It was what it was I like, had a backwards hoodie on and like put a mask like on it, and I had a little leaf coming from my head. I was the black imposter. Yeah. And basically what I would do is I would be at this party every once in a while, like someone would be talking to me and then they'd turn away and I'd quickly flip the mask up and they'd turn back and it's like, it's my name that I was going by, just as the imposter was young black gifted imposter. YBG imposter. And I would also just spend extended amounts of time with the mask up, just walking around very slowly. And if I bumped into someone, they'd move me like a Roomba. They just twist me around.
You should have brought one of those retractable knives.
I just watched Knives Out. That's a non sequitur, but
okay.
It made me.
I've never seen Knives Out.
You would love it.
I think everybody tells me. At
the very end of the party, one of my friends came up to me and went, George, you're kind of like the Joker of the theater department.
Okay.
I don't know what she means.
What do you mean you don't know? You think you're not a person who's a little bit of a jokester from now and again?
I'm a jokester, but I don't see how I'm the Joker.
Saying you are the Joker implies that other people at your work or place where you are don't really fit into a category where they are making jokes, and that's why I don't want to claim that for my workplace, because that's not the case. It's not like I'm somewhere and nobody else is making jokes. I'm not the singular jokester or joker of the group. Like I'm one of them, maybe one of the more like someone who makes more jokes than other people. But like it's weird. It's a weird thing to be told because you don't know how to interpret that.
Yeah, I'm still struggling to this day.
But I think it means that you are the most prevalent joker, which is maybe a good thing.
Yeah, I like to do silly little things.
What's the point if you don't? You're taking yourself too seriously if you're not.
If you're not doing silly little things.
Yeah.
If you're not. So I had a friend tell me the other day that she loved whenever I did little dancey dances. I looked at her and I was like, when do I ever do little dancey dances? I thought about it for like 2 seconds and I was like, no, that is something that I do frequently.
Sometimes we'll just be standing around and you'll be like, you'll be popping a little dancey dance.
And
it's awesome.
I'll be busting out a fucking stanky leg.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple dabs, respect.
Oh.
That was on the Talk Tuah podcast. That was
she dabbed?
Her and her co-host went respect and then dabbed.
How do you dab on the Talk Tuah podcast?
I didn't get that far in the episode. To be frank, I only watched like maybe 8 minutes before I was like, I can't do this anymore.
You and me, we'll sit down tonight. We'll watch it. I'm very serious.
Okay, we can
you
do
and
that.
Me, we'll sit down tonight. We'll record. We won't record it.
No.
We'll sit down.
We'll do live commentary on the
exactly. That's what I was going to say.
And the entire time we just go,
how they could have been better.
She'll say something and we go, and you can hear like scribbling, like we're taking notes.
This is a good idea.
This is a really funny idea.
Hey, that counts as parody. That counts as parody as long as we're adding enough external value, which
come on,
we are. Then that's legal.
It's a really good way to like take advantage of someone who's doing better than us for no reason.
Yeah.
Because her podcast sucks.
Sure.
And famously, our podcast
is
super awesome.
And I'm very upset that she's angry. I'm very upset that she's famous and I'm angry.
We didn't clap at the beginning of this episode, Forrest. Thank you.
That's good enough for you.
At this 2020 party, like the next day I felt really sick. Mm-hmm. So I started like quarantining for a couple of days and then I got COVID.
Yeah.
And I had to, obviously isolate myself. And my roommate, he like stayed at his partner's house for that whole week. And I had nothing to do. Like I didn't have like anything to work on other than like podcast episodes. Sure. So I decided to re-download a very near and dear game to my heart, Hollow Knight, and 112% it.
A fantastic video game.
You played it, right? Yeah.
I've played it. I will not lie. When I played it, I got very angry many times. Not once at its difficulty, but every time at the navigation in that game. I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to get where I needed to be most of the times I was playing. It was so challenging, and not even in the like skill way.
No, the maps infamously in Hollow Knight don't really match up to like
the map sucks.
The actual,
and I also didn't know where I needed to go because it was just like. You obviously in a video game you like unlock the map as you go, so it's like you have some of the map and then you have a black screen, and somewhere in the black screen it says you need to go here. Mm-hmm. Thanks, asshole. You didn't help.
You didn't buy a map from Cornifer. Fortunately, on this playthrough I had already finished pretty much the entire game, so I just I knew where to go like for the most part. But then there were even times where I was like, wait. What am I supposed to be doing right now? Where am I supposed to get this key item?
It's a really, really fantastic game, and I did not know. I just sucked at being able to follow the quests in it, which is crazy because normally I'm really good at that in games. Like whenever I've been playing lately. I play single player kind of adventure MMO games. I recently got into Assassin's Creed, and the modern Assassin's Creed games have a version that you can play.
Are they good? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but do you think they're good? Because I've heard
they're good slop.
Okay,
they're good slop.
They're a Burger King burger.
Yeah, I enjoy them, but the reason I've been enjoying them is because they have this mode where you can turn off where the quest thing tells you exactly where to go, and it will just it will tell you if you're in the general area, and it will be you have to be in a city that is northwest of this city and south of this, and it's okay, fucking here's the whole map, figure that out, and that's fun for me. I like that. That's problem solving. It makes the game feel a lot more fun.
Yeah, Hollow Knight. That's just how Metroidvania games are, which is what
I'm not a Metroidvania fan really.
That's fair. But did you actually beat Hollow Knight?
But I did beat Hollow Knight, and I thought it was fantastic.
It is a great game. Actually, I was thinking about like games that I've 100%ed in the past, and I guess like we've talked a little bit about it, but I was curious, Forrest, what makes you kind of like, what kind of games make you really like, I want to see everything in this game, if that makes sense. If you're someone who likes to 100% games.
I every now and again I'll 100% a game, and it's not common.
Yeah.
And 100%, like it's very rare for me to 100% a game, to be honest, because most of the time I lose interest. But what makes me really interested in video games is like replayability.
Yeah.
Or if your game is not replayable, I really want it to be very, very challenging.
Interesting.
So like I didn't like God of War.
The new one?
Yeah, kind of any of them. Okay. Because like you're playing the game and it's like kind of easy. and then it's like you can't replay it. It's not open world. Not really. No. Like you just follow this plot. So I'm like, I was playing this game and I'm like, whatever.
I mean, there are side quests, but I know what you mean.
But then I'm playing a game like, which is not at all similar. I'll choose a similar game instead of this. I was gonna say Spelunky, but I'm playing a game like Witcher. Which is open world, and I consider it to be like pretty replayable, and because there's multiple ways you could do it, right? And you can like decide to prep for all these things and do the research into the like monsters and nerd out on it, or you can just like brute force, and that makes the game hard. Yeah. So like you could choose to play it hard, or you could choose to play it easy, and like that's very fun to me. I think like other games like Spelunky is probably the most replayable game I've ever played. Like, I really like roguelikes. There's another game that I like called City of Brass, which is very replayable for the same reason. Obviously, they're designed to be replayed. I'm going to play Hades soon.
I also have to play Hades soon.
You know, I like Spelunky especially because it's hard. Okay. Spelunky 2, I think it's hard. I think it's a hard game. Like, most people would not be able to beat it. Most people would be able to get to the first ending. Most people would not be able to finish, like, the game. Yeah. Because there's a lot of secrets in the game. And I like the sense of exploration in a game. And I think that's, like, the third thing that really draws me to a game. Yeah. It needs to be either highly explorable, which is replayability to me. So it's kind of the same. Or very challenging. Like, I don't replay Celeste very often. But because it is replayable if you like it. But like,
it's replayable.
But I've already done it. I know I can, and therefore I don't feel like I need to right now. Celeste, hard-ass game. Like, you play all the way through, you play all the D-sides and shit. That game's fucking hard.
I mean, I feel like for that game specifically, what brings people back to replay is, like, the speedrunning.
The speedrunning's fantastic. Unfortunately,
not your thing?
No, I tried to speedrun Spelunky for like a little bit. That was it.
I tried speedrunning Odyssey when like
that's hard.
In the early, it's been optimized to hell and back. It's like trying to get into like the original Mario Bros. Yeah. Like nowadays, it's like you can't do it. Point Crow's already got that shit like locked down.
But and he by the way, compared to like whatever any percent right now is, sucks.
Yeah,
which is crazy because he doesn't suck at the game.
I watch it, I'm like, oh my god, this is the most incredible thing of all time.
I watched Smollett 1 play, and I'm like, holy shit. Your movement is insane. You're like good at all. You have the insane knowledge, and you can trick jump. You can do all this shit. And then I watched the any percent, and I'm like, so you're telling me, very end of the run, you go for 3 back-to-back pixel perfect jumps, which for people who don't know what that means, whatever, look it up.
Don't care.
You go for 3 back-to-back pixel perfect jumps because it saves like, I don't know, 30 seconds and loses 7 minutes, which is a lot of time.
That is a lot of time.
But you need it. Promise. You need it. At the end of the run, after you've already done all the other hard tricks, you now need to do 3 back-to-back pixel perfect jumps. That's not normal, dude. Something's wrong with you.
There was a game recently that I played all the way through and tried to like 100%. It was called Neon White, Forrest.
Oh, I need to get into that game. And that is a replayable game.
That is a replayable game solely for the speedrunning. Again, I think you would absolutely
But all the levels are so short and like it's like eating chips.
It is.
It's like I could eat those levels every single time.
Yeah. Fuck, I just completely brain farted. It's for the audience who doesn't know what the game is, it's a speedrunning based platformer where you try to beat the levels as fast as possible and you shoot guns.
Yeah, it's a similar platformer to like Mirror's Edge. Like it's first person.
That's actually perfect. That's a perfect comparison. Yep. In the game, there are 3 medals that you can get. You can get a bronze, a silver, or a gold. But I actually just lied.
Oh, but you just lied.
But I just lied. if you get the gold, it tells you how fast you need to beat it to get an ace medal, and it's blue, and that's the best one that you can get.
And I believe that's not even the end of it, because there's also dev times after that.
There is another one. I did just lie again. There is a reward for beating the level faster than the creators of the game did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what you gotta go for. You gotta get the red one.
Like, I got all of the endings and, like, did the levels as fast as I thought I could do and all that, and, like, did all the extra side shit. Yeah, and I was like, whew, I'm done. Then I watched Alpha Red play it on Fast 50, and he was talking about, like, the dev, like, times, and he was like, yeah, they're pretty easy if you, like, know
it's actually not that hard.
And I was like, fuck, I can't call myself a gamer if I didn't get all the dev medals in neon white.
No, that's like going to a competition and, like, placing, like, I don't know, like 30th out of 100, and it's like, yeah, that's pretty good. It's like, no, like, it's not bad. You're better than most people, but, like, nobody's really congratulating you because you got 30th.
No. So I went back to the whole game, got all the dev medals. It did take me 3 days.
I heard it was easy
to do. It was well. I mean, the thing is, I don't play shooter games.
Yeah.
My aim is infamously terrible.
Okay.
So, and, like, most of, like, the tricks to do in the game to make the levels faster is, like, sniping shit from, like, across the entire map as you're, like, speed boosting off, like, a leaf or something, and it's like, if you miss, you have to restart. You're not getting that medal. It's hard
because, as well, like, the way that the game works is that you get these cards, and the cards double as weapon and movement. So it's like, if you fuck up your weapon or fuck up your movement, you fucked up the level. Like, you don't really redeem yourself ever. Like, you just have to be good.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way around it. You just gotta be good.
You have to be fucking good. You have to, like, practice if you're not good at shooters. And I guess practice if you're not good at platformers.
Yeah, for sure.
Platformer games are hard.
Platformers are hard. Like, if you grow up playing them, there's this, like, innate sense of, like, you get used to an engine and you're like, yeah, I can make that jump. But if you didn't grow up playing them, like, you watch, like, people who didn't game as kids trying to play platformers, it's extremely, like, befuddling to them.
Absolutely.
Like, they don't understand just how it works.
Like,
because why would you?
I really struggle with shooter games. That's where my brother Alexander, he really strives. Like, if I tried to play a shooter game with him, he would wipe my ass.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But he didn't really, I mean, he played platformers, but he didn't play them as extensively as I did. So if we tried to, like, I watched him play Mario Odyssey, he was really struggling.
Yeah.
And it's not even, like, too challenging of a game, but the challenges later on, as he's doing them, he's, like, kind of looking like a fool a little bit.
Like, when I played through, like, Mario Wonder, I played through it with one of my friends at college, and like, I played, but most of the games that I've played and loved are platformer games.
Okay.
And, like,
same.
It was his Switch. It was his game, and, like, he had played video games for sure, and I don't think, like, I think he's really good at, like, some video games and not great at, like, other video games. That's normal.
Yeah.
And, like, it was my first time touching a Mario game in a long time, since I was, I don't know, like 11. And I was like doing shit on there that he just like simply couldn't even like keep up doing. And it was like, oh, okay. So it's just something you get a feel for.
Yeah.
You just play enough of it and you just log your hours and you grind it and you get it.
I played Mario Odyssey with, Mario Wonder with 3 of my friends. And we also played 3D All-Stars, and we had like a very similar experience where like, I was definitely taking charge in most of the levels, like collecting all this shit and whatever. One of my other friends was like pretty good, and one of them was like not that good, but like having fun, and then one of them was just like along for the ride. Yeah. It was just really interesting.
Which are all great ways to enjoy the game.
I mean, it's Mario. There's no right way to play a Mario game. Come the fuck on.
Like anybody who's like, oh, it took you this long to beat this game, dude. Fuck right off. You suck.
I will say, the final like challenge level, like after you collect everything in the game, the final challenge level, I played it like the day before, like the night before, like an early class. Like it was a 9 a.m. It was like 12, like midnight. And I was like, oh, I'll crank this out real quick.
The final challenge levels in Mario games are famously they're pretty hard.
They're pretty insanely hard.
Yeah.
I thought I could crank that shit out in like an hour or two. I was a little bit full of myself.
Yeah.
I was up till 4 a.m. on that fucking level.
They're hard. Extremely rewarding to beat.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because you love a game when it's hard. You're like, oh, obviously you can do it. Like anybody can do it. Why not you?
Can we talk about something a little bit fucked up with Mario Wonder?
Of course.
There are no chain jumps in that game.
You're right.
There was
Where are my dogs at?
Where are my dogs at? I've just been, they're one of my favorite Mario enemies.
They're good.
They've been a staple since Mario 3.
They've been a staple set, yeah.
To sit out for Mario's big 2D re-adventure.
Yeah. But
it's like
they're more, at this point in my mind, they're a 3D enemy.
I understand
because they're important in 64.
It's like the second enemy you find in 64.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you need a star. Yeah, I guess you don't need them for the star, but you need them for the star. They're incredibly valuable in Odyssey. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they're all over 3D World.
Yeah, they're around. They're definitely around.
They're in Galaxy. Like, they're kind of now... Mario categorizes their shit in this way, where they're like, this is for 3D games, this is for 2D games, and I don't support it.
But for the new Super Mario Brothers series, terrible series, by the way. Like, come on.
Yeah. Hey, that first game they released, pretty good.
It was pretty good.
The second game they released, same as the first game.
It was. Then the third game was the same as the second and first game.
Wrong. It had a raccoon tail.
I'm talking about Mario Brothers 2 on the DS, which will actually release the same year as Mario for the Wii U. Crazy. Why did they do that? I think for me, what I really look forward to, what makes me really want to 100% a game is for it to feel like I'm not 100%ing the game. I'm just playing more game.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't I think after a while playing Neon White, I got really down and upset because I was doing the same shit over and over and really feeling like I'm not getting it. Because after you get all the dev times, you unlock level rushes where you do all the levels
at once
in a row on one life.
Which is fucked up hard.
It is fucked up. And I technically still haven't done it because I was playing it on my roommate's partner's Xbox, which was here, that they took back to their apartment.
Happens.
Fucked up.
I guess it's theirs.
They use my Switch all the time.
Lame to me.
I won't get into it. But after a while, it was like, I'm doing this to 100% the game, not because I'm enjoying the game. But for Hollow Knight, each thing that I had to do to increase the percent number was something new and something interesting, and I just really liked it.
When I was 100%ing Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Whew!
Fantastic game, by the way. I do have over 200 hours in it on Steam. Mm-hmm. I played it. I got my tonsils removed when I was in middle school, and I was, for some reason, they were like, "This is good enough to keep you out of school." So I was out of school, and I was playing it 20 hours a day. Mm-hmm. It was odd, and I was 100%ing that game, and I had the same feeling where I was and Yoshi's Woolly World.
Wait, really?
Yeah, when I was 100%ing those games, I was like, at some point in this Lego game, you're just you're reloading into the levels, and you're like, this time I have to be Lex Luthor so that I can use this kryptonite I could pull out of my pocket on this part of the level. So it's sucks, dude.
I actually was gonna say that Yoshi's Woolly World was the first game that really opened my eyes to 100%ing.
Oh, I did not have a good time 100%ing that game. I was doing it with my friend, and he just kept missing the eggs.
Oh,
he kept missing. He kept missing all the eggs.
That's really annoying.
So
I'm really sorry you had that experience.
It was rough.
I wish you played it with me when we were kids, because I was in the AIM labs on Yoshi's Woolly World.
You have to understand, I did this within the past 4 years. This was semi-recent in my life.
Wait, really? What? Yeah. Was this over quarantine or?
I think so. I think it might have been over COVID.
Okay. Can you? I'll edit out the name. Who did you play with?
Zinga.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. You guys heard it bleeped out. I'm telling Forrest.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching, love you.
You don't know who you are.
I won't be. He knows.
Oh,
He played Yoshi with me.
Oh yeah,
I won't be fucking with that again, brother. I won't.
Not again. No, I mean, I really liked Yoshi's Woolly World because it really felt it was just exploring. That was what 100% of the game was.
Yeah.
Looking out for little dents in the walls, and you walk through and it's it's a secret wall. I feel really rewarded for
sure.
being creative and walking in this wall or shooting this.
That's how I feel with open world games in general. That's why I love them. You play Skyrim, and you spend the time to read a book, and you're oh wow, this book actually there's this is deep, or you play I don't know. You play like any open world game, and it feels like that, and it's great. Hat in Time. I don't know if you played. Hat in Time.
I really need to play a Hat.
That was a really good game, and that was an open world platformer that unfortunately came out when a different hat themed open world platformer came out.
We won't say
which was, of course, Mario Odyssey. So it got trumped.
The boogeyman.
But they're not similar at all. No. And that was a game that I played, and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting rewarded for exploration. It's creative, it's fun, and like the engine felt good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all you need.
Another open world game, Breath of the Wild. That's like.
I haven't played that. I need to.
That's its whole MO.
Yeah.
Is exploring and finding like new, unique ways to like get like attack enemies or get around situations. Really excellent game. But I could not 100%.
Too much. Too much work.
Just
the speed run to 100% of that game is like 12 hours.
No, the speed run for Breath of the Wild is 20 hours.
Oh,
my bad. I watched Small Ant. Well, I didn't watch it. I like had it on in the background while I was doing something, and like collectively over like the course of a month or so, watched that entire stream.
Yeah.
And it's just like to be able to memorize pretty much all.
Oh, they don't memorize it. They have like a doc on the side.
I know, but most of the time they're just like, like it's like,
oh yeah, there's a Croc here. Like, fuck you. How do you know that?
Absolutely insane, Forrest. I really like your shirt right now.
Thank you.
I really like your shirt right now. What's is that
this
like
shirt?
Like a movie or?
Yeah, it's definitely like something I watched, something I went to.
Childish Gambino.
Childish Gambino.
Is that like a cowboy?
New World Tour 2024.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you guys keep up with music or anything or like enjoy Childish Gambino.
I'm getting there.
But I'm a really big Gambino fan. I think that he's like pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like Donald Glover. I like a lot of his like pretty much all of his art that he's put out. I really, really enjoy, which is fucked up because he has such a big ego about all of his art that he puts out.
I mean,
but he gets to because like it's all that good. I fucking guess.
I mean, the way that he like describes it is that he thinks like he's like, oh, everyone should have a big ego about their art because it's like, then why would you put it out there?
Yeah.
You know, you have to think you're the greatest rapper of all time to put out music, and it's like on the surface that's like a very you know,
which
egotistical
George, you know that I subscribe to that to an extent. I think you have to believe that you're putting out good art.
I agree.
Or good content.
I agree.
I don't know if you have to believe it's maybe at his level you do. Like he's just operating at such a different level. But anyway, so
I will say I do think we are putting out the greatest podcast.
The greatest podcast of all time, people. It's
wow. I didn't think that's when you would bust out the Trump impression.
The Obligatory Podcast. It's never seen anything better.
I was on Talk Tuah.
I don't understand why they don't have millions and millions of viewers.
I was on Talk Tuah. I was thinking, I wish I was on the Obligatory Podcast.
I've been watching those boys since 2023. Very good. Very good. Very good.
But you went to a Childish Gambino.
I went to a Childish Gambino's concert. He... Also known as Donald Glover, he's retiring his music name after like this concert tour, and he released it, and I was like, fuck, I gotta get this, I gotta go. So he announced that he was doing it. I bought floor tickets, like
crazy,
like a day after. The floor tickets when I bought them were like $150.
Oh wow! Oh shit!
Or like $200, like. Which is crazy cheap. When I checked right before the concert on like Ticketmaster or whatever, it was like $600.
Okay, that is actually a fantastic price.
Surge pricing.
Yeah.
So I got in before the surge, and it was fantastic. I went. It changed me honestly, like into a concert person. It was like life-changingly good. It was fantastic. I was on the floor. He started off with like newer songs, and then as it progressed, he got older and older, which was awesome. He played songs from like Camp, which he hasn't done since he like fucking released Camp, which is my favorite album. So awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like Camp. I like for individual songs, it's Camp. I think as a whole album experience, it's because of the internet.
I mean, come on.
It has to be because of the internet. But individual songs, it's Camp.
I don't know what it is about like the sound of Camp, but it's really like worn off.
That's fair
on me. But
it has my personal favorite song right now is Heartbeat.
That's a good
so
one.
I really like that song, and
a good one.
I really like All the Power, and that's also on Camp. So it has like some of my favorites. But anyway, so I went with my friend. It was fantastic.
That's awesome.
on the floor, like, nothing that crazy happened, which is upsetting because I wanted crazy shit to happen.
Yeah.
I saw, like, a fight almost broke out because someone, like, pushed too far up. Dude, the whole time, you know, like, you're on the floor and you're, like, you're trying to get close to the stage, but you don't want to, like, be up against somebody. That's what most people would feel like.
Yeah.
There was this one girl behind me and my friend that we referred to as Boobs Girl. Because I swear to God, the entire concert, one of us had her up against us the whole time. It was crazy. We didn't even like look at her face. We don't know what she looked like. We don't know what she sounded like. We didn't talk to her once. It was just like...
You would just feel her boobs.
It was just a fact of life, I fucking guess. And it was like, okay, sure, man. But no, I was like 3 people away from him. It was like I made a lot of eye contact with him.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was.
Are his eyes dreamy?
Yeah, he's hot, dude. He was hot.
He is. I mean, come on.
It was good.
He is.
Yeah.
No, I've been a big fan of Donald Glover even before Community. Community was like really...
I mean, obviously Community's great.
I mean, Community, it's just my favorite show of all time. And Troy Barnes is my favorite character in that show. So obviously I'm going to be like, I think Donald Glover is pretty hype. I think he said some pretty not hype things. I did hear about his Tumblr account that he had.
That's where he says his true shit.
That is where he says
when
his
I'm on
true
Tumblr,
shit.
I'm the real me.
That's what they're saying. Did you watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Was that good?
No, I haven't watched that yet. I want to. I want to watch... I'm watching my way through 30 Rock right now because he was a writer on that show.
I tried watching that. I didn't really like it.
Yeah, I'm not loving it. They have some that are like really funny.
Yeah.
They have some really, really banging episodes, but most of their episodes are just okay and very dated.
Oh, yeah.
Very dated.
Absolutely. The first time I went to a concert, I just,
Yeah.
this is just a nice story to share. It was for Joji. It was freshman year of college. I had never been to a concert at that point, and 2 of my other friends were like, hey, we're going to this Joji concert. We have an extra ticket. Do you want to come with us? And I'm a big fan of Joji, so I was like, sure, I'll do that. And then my friend went, oh, we also have another ticket. Elizabeth, I'll name drop her. Elizabeth, do you want to come with us? And Elizabeth was kind of like, eek, I don't know. I don't really listen to his music, blah, 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 which is fine. It's understandable. There was another person there who I talked extensively about on the finale episode of the pod. The one who walked into my room while I was sleeping to get his camera.
Hey, shit happens, I fucking guess.
And the one who called himself the lesbian hunter.
Which is so beast.
So beast. He pipes up and he goes, I'm down to go. And that kind of like...
And you can't say no.
Well,
I mean, you could, but...
That sent us into panic mode, and we all kind of like locked eyes and were like, we need to get Elizabeth to go to this Joji concert with us. And so we kind of we're like, please.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, fine, whatever. It would be a fun time. Turns out Julie didn't have an extra ticket. She was just scouring Twitter for people selling their tickets to this Joji concert.
I have a theoretical extra ticket, by the way.
And please come to Virginia with these people that you've
2
known
hours
for
away.
2 months. 2 hours away. Oh, I gotta bleep that out. Whatever. 2 hours away.
It was even in DC.
It was in DC. 2 hours away and sleep in this guy's house that you've known for like 2 months to see a person that you don't listen to.
Honestly, if somebody said that string of words to me, I would. I don't know if anybody in the world has ever said yes faster than I would.
I mean, I would too, but Elizabeth.
I'm fodder for a serial killer. Like
Elizabeth is a different beast.
Yeah, normal. Some may say.
Yeah. So like we get down there and Elizabeth's like, you sent me the ticket. She's like, oh, I'm still looking on Twitter, and it's like, oof. And she tries buying like a ticket from someone on Twitter. Obviously, it was a scam. She got scammed out of $100, and Elizabeth was like, "I'm
also $100. It would have just been more."
Yeah. So she like, was like, you know what? We tried, we failed. You guys go watch Joji. I'll go like watch a movie or something. But obviously, like, we wanted her there.
Yeah.
It's a cool experience. So I tried to buy a ticket from another person on Twitter. I dropped like 100 big ones. That was also a scam. And then
Why didn't y'all just like go to the concert early and find a scalper?
I guess we just didn't think to do that.
Fair enough. Hey, not everybody's a genius like Forrest.
not everyone, especially not whatever. And we finally found this one guy who we were really like haggling with to see if they were real first. We had him film a video of like a spoon on his head, like him holding a spoon on his head. I was about to make a
joke about that.
he had a spoon on his head and went, marshmallow.
Dude, you gotta pay him at least $50 extra for that.
I dropped $200 on that ticket specifically, I think. And he was like, hey man, we were like really passive aggressive with him to like really make sure he was real. And he was hey man, I know about people like scamming you, you know? I'm a sneakerhead. It happens all the time.
Hey, you know what? Actually, as an ex-sneakerhead, it does happen all the time, and it's very annoying.
It is very annoying. But he sent over the ticket, and we had a fantastic time. It was a great concert. Joji is a fantastic. Yeah.
You know, for the entirety of that concert, I was like 100 yards away from you.
At Joji? Oh no, because you were.
Because you went to the Anthem, which is on the DC Wharf.
Yeah.
And I was working at a restaurant which was on the DC Wharf, and this asshole didn't make any time to see me.
No, I was on a time crunch. I'm sorry, but I did send a picture of your restaurant like to you, and I think I said like thinking about you.
Yeah.
I think I said something like that. That's insane to think about. At the concert, he played Super Smash Brothers like on the TV. He took a bathroom break, and for the record, Joji's like real name, his name is George. So my friends were joking that like I'm the Black Joji. I don't know.
Okay,
that's just something
because your
funny.
name is George.
Because my name is George.
Yeah, and you're black.
And I'm black.
And he's white.
I use the bath. What?
Joji.
He's Asian.
He's Asian.
He's Asian.
We all make guesses.
He's pink guy.
Oh fuck! You're right.
He's Filthy Frank.
You're right. Who was I thinking of? Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe you're thinking of like who's on Austin and Ally? Who's Austin? I don't know. I don't know.
But anyways.
Yeah. Very, very fun time. Very funny story. And I think it's about time that we
talk about my first concert being the Wiggles.
Wait, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Was your first concert actually the Wiggles?
Yeah, my first concert was
we're not ending the episode.
My first concert was the Wiggles, which I don't remember because I was like 3. Mm-hmm. But my parents swear it happened. Mm-hmm. My first concert that I was conscious for, that I remember, was with my middle school girlfriend. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, this was in freshman year. But she was my middle school girlfriend, also freshman year girlfriend. We went to Panic at the Disco with her mom. And we saw Brendan Urie pop out the stage. Mm-hmm. It was like, at the time, pretty awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was so awkward because it was like me and her would have been great. Mm-hmm. And then her mom next to us. Mm-hmm. And we're like, yeah, it's like a big concert. It's expensive. We're like 2 tiers up.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I don't know if I should be like standing up and enjoying this concert or like sitting here and enjoying the show.
Is her mom also like a big Panic at the Disco fan? Like, why was she there?
Yeah, what are you gonna let these 2 kids be away?
Oh.
I would say yes.
Yes.
But apparently she would say no. Whatever.
Crazy.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like sitting there like enjoying it. And like her mom was like standing up and she was like, Forrest, why don't you like get up and dance? And I'm like, dog, we're like seated. Like we're in it got to the point where I was like standing there and I was like bobbing my body a little and like kind of singing along. Mm-hmm. And so like you get into it, whatever, you're singing along.
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, their hit song, Panic at the Disco. And I was like really into it because I was really into Panic at the Disco at the time. Mm-hmm. And so I like lost my voice. Mm. Which normally would have been fine, but was not fine because I had a choir showcase within the next 2 days. Mm-hmm. I toughed it out, whatever.
Yeah.
But I wish that I had remembered the Wiggles more because I wish that was my first concert experience.
Yeah.
Because
that's a really funny first concert experience.
I actually I almost went to see the Wiggles recently.
Where?
Wolf Trap.
Oh.
Yeah,
I would have.
Kids Bop also played at Wolf Trap recently, and I was really trying to go, but nobody at work wanted to go with me.
That's all. I would have made time to come up there.
Next time I see Kids Bop on the listing, I'll let you know.
You know who I want to see in concert? Yo Gabba Gabba.
Oh my God, there's a party in my tummy, yummy, yummy?
Yes, party in my tummy, wummy, yummy.
Those guys are awesome.
They are. One of my original Halloween costumes for this year was going to be the orange guy from Yo Gabba Gabba. I settled on Uncle Grandpa, but...
maybe win some, you lose some.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
I think that Yo Gabba Gabba was like such a... I know it was really important to me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I have like very distinct memories of what the characters look like. And I know nothing about what that show is about.
No.
And I still don't know what that show is about.
Well, I mean, I think it's like... Each of these characters have like a different biome that they live in, and like each episode they have like a little problem. There's like a guest that comes on and they have a problem that they want the Yo Gabba Gabba creatures to solve, like Pluto, the orange one, and the Mr. Robot, I think his name is Mr.
There was a robot.
Yeah,
the only thing I remember from that show vividly is him eating food and being like, "Egg, you feel left out. Don't worry. There's a party in my tummy. Yummy, yummy. I'll eat you." He eats the egg, and now we're being taught that, like, the food wants to be eaten.
The food really likes to be eaten, apparently.
Which is good for kids, I guess.
Yeah, it shows that, like,
you don't want to leave out the vegetables because they'll be sad.
They'll be sad that they're not having the party
in your tummy. And I still think about food in the context that it wants to be eaten. Like, whenever I talk about eating food, I'm like, well, yeah, I mean... its end goal is to be eaten. That's what it wants in life.
It does. It
you know how it's conscious?
It exists to be eaten. Speaking of food, I wanted to bring this up as the last topic for this episode. I cannot cook. I cannot cook. That is a simple fact of life. That I am terrible at cooking.
Yeah. The reviews are in.
It's looking bad. I'm really good at reviewing food.
Yeah, fantastic at reviewing.
I'm top 3 in the world, but
people are saying
you put a pan in my plate and I don't know what to do. So I decided to make a conscious effort in my life to try to cook new meals more often.
That's a great thing.
So for the past few weeks, I have been cooking something like new that I haven't cooked before, in my entire life. To be fair, I haven't cooked much.
Well, that's great. That leaves you a lot of options.
Also, I did it because food is like what you want to do for a living.
Food is like the center of my world. Yes.
And I remember sometimes you get into a conversation with Jack or Caleb about food and you guys would be really into it. And I'm like, I can't follow along. I felt a little bit bad, honestly, that this huge part of you, I couldn't connect with. So that's also why I decided to
that's very sweet.
do this kind of challenge. Not really a challenge. Last week,
the only way that you can convince yourself to do something is by calling it a content challenge in your brain.
Well, for the record, I'm not making content out of this. That'd be lame. This is just for me.
Yeah.
I know it's similar to we're listening to an album every day thing, but this is solely I just want to get better at cooking so I can talk to you about it. Last week I made pork chops.
I saw the picture.
I sent you a picture of it.
They looked all right.
The pork chops themselves weren't bad. And this is going to make you realize oh shit, this is what we're dealing with. I didn't realize that you had to season rice. I didn't realize that.
Well,
I know you don't
have to season rice. In a lot of cuisines around the world, especially Asia, the food is very flavorful. Therefore, the rice is a palate cleanser.
But
in European places, more Western world, there is a flavored rice situation going on.
It was I put too much water. I boiled it. I didn't have access to a rice cooker.
Right.
So I boiled it. I put too much water in.
Cooking rice is it's actually pretty precise. If you're not good at it, it's hard.
Yeah, but I'm fucking trying. Respectfully.
And that's what matters.
And I made it for me and my friend. And it was a good start. I think I made nachos.
Your favorite food?
It is my favorite food. Never made it in my entire life.
Yeah.
Made ground beef for the first time in a really long time.
Yeah.
And it was actually really good. I really like the nachos. This was when I was sick with COVID.
Oh yeah.
And it made me feel just very
that's awesome.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe tonight, because I don't have a lot of money right now, Forrest. I'm gonna be completely real with you.
Hey.
I went to
college.
I went to the grocery store yesterday and I got strips of raw beef and chicken wings and some turkey ground beef, and I got ground bell peppers and cucumbers and just a bunch of shit that I wouldn't buy, but I was you know what, let me maybe try to cook something with Forrest tonight, and then see what we can make out of this. So maybe we'll talk about that.
I'm down. I'll help you out.
In 3 weeks when you come back down to film another episode. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing that. Let the audience know that I'm doing that.
He's on a self-improvement arc, guys.
I am.
He's making himself better every day. It's awesome.
Every day. But yeah, I don't have anything else that I feel the need to bring up.
No, I mean, I think that we got to end this episode. I think we're running a little bit over time.
Yeah, we're actually doing really good on time compared to last.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were super over time on last week. So, look, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Let us know, actually, which one of us was cuter this episode.
Ooh.
Who was a little cutie patootie?
I mean, George has layers. It's true. It's true. George has got layers.
I mean, you got the little earrings and the little nose ring.
I do.
And you got a little haircut.
I did get a haircut.
So was it Cutie Karen?
Cutie Karen, that's me. Or was it Cutie Kevin?
Which is me. Thank you so much for watching this episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Leave.
Alright, they're gone.
Thank God, dude. Fuck them.